Hi everyone, welcome back to WHU TV. It's nice to see you. I hope you're keeping well and having a good end to your week, stroke the start of your weekend in comparison to when you guys are going to watch this. Thank you to everybody that's subscribed over the last few days. It's been phenomenal growth and some great comments coming in from people. Thank you very much. That's what obviously happens when there's noobs outside normal fixtures, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your point of view. I mean, a lot of people have been negative. Just wait for the season to be over and see what happens, yeah? But we'll talk about that later. But today's video, we're going to be previewing the West Ham's 19th and last home game of the 23-24 Premier League season, where we welcome Luton Town to the London Stadium for a 3 o'clock kickoff this Saturday afternoon. And as a result of the time, it's not on any UK TV channel. As always, guys, this video is sponsored by the channel sponsor, 3retro.com. Please click the link in the description below that will take you directly through to the West Ham section of their website, where you can purchase some really nice retro gear, guys, along with track jackets, polo shirts, sweatshirts and t-shirts, as you can see from the icon that's up here. Any purchases you make through the link in the description below, the commission that the channel would normally be getting, as I always say, I'll be sending on to the charity Iron Supporting Food Banks. They're based in the Newham area and they're helping those in the Newham area and the Essex County and further afield for that matter, as they are currently supporting over 60 separate food banks as of the time of this recording. So guys, go grab yourself a really nice retro shirt. You'll be saving yourself a few quid, or quite a nice polo as well for that matter, and you'll be helping those the less fortunate than you and I. So if you are new to the channel over the last few days, because a lot of you are, and you haven't watched these previews before, basically there's going to be timestamps in the description below, so you can jump around to any section that you want to listen to. But ideally, the more guys watch this, then the longer you watch it, the more it's going to be on the algorithm for YouTube, and of course, the more likes this video gets as well. That's also going to help promote the channel, etc., etc. So, but as I say, more importantly, your comments in the comment section below. Let me know what you're thinking on any subject that we're talking about in this video. So as always, guys, let's start off by talking about the officials. The referee for this game is Michael Oliver. Unfortunately, his assistants are Stuart Burt and Dan Cook. The fourth official is Oliver Langford. On VAR, we have Rob Jones, and the assistant there is Harry Leonard. Now, yeah, it's a bit of a mixed bag in terms of refereeing officials, but it is what it is. We can't obviously change it. Now, the last time we played Luton at home, you won't be surprised, was before the Premier League even existed. It was back in 1992, where we played them in League One and we drew 0-0. Now, David Moyes' last home game against Luton was all the way back in 2000, when he was a manager of Preston, and he played them in the second division and won 1-0. So it was before, obviously, before the rebranding, shall we say, of the first division going to the Premier League, and then the first division being rebranded again to be going to the Championship, which was the Coca-Cola Championship when it first came out, of course. And obviously, the Premier League was the Barclays Premier League, and even before that, it was the Premier League, and all the rest of it. Anyway, there's no point going into that. Now, Luton are, at the time of this recording, 18th in the table after 36 games. They've won 6, drawn 8, and lost 22, scoring 49 goals, which isn't too bad, but they conceded a shitload more than we did, and 78, so they're on a minus 29 goal difference on 16 points, 3 points clear of safety. Now, I am quite surprised that that's the case. I thought they'd be on level terms around this time of the season, even with the stuff that's gone on with Everton's points deductions and everything, and of course Notts Forest as well for that matter. I thought they would be a little bit more secure than they are now, because they didn't start off very well. We played them, we smashed the hell out of them in the away game towards the start of the season, but we've petered out. They had a great mid-section of the season, but have just gone worse and worse, and this is backing it up. Their their away form so far this season, they've won 2, drawn 4, lost 12, scoring 23 on the road but conceding 45, so minus 22 goal difference. And up rocks West Ham, because they have lost all their last 5 away games, and a very unconfident West Ham as well for that matter. Now, their highest away goal scorer in the Premier League so far is Morris with 5 goals and 1 assist. Their highest assister is Dougherty with 3 assists and 1 goal, with Ross Barkley very close behind him on 2 assists and 3 goals. Morris is also their joint highest aerial duel winner, with an average of 2.9 aerial duels won per game, along with Brown, who's actually out at the moment, which we'll talk about in a minute, who's also on 2.9 aerial duels on average, 1 per game, with Reece Burke just slowly behind him on 2.3 aerial duels on average, 1 per game. Now, looking at Luton's injuries in full, Lockyer is currently out until early July with a chest and abdominal injury. Kabore is out to the start of July with an ankle sprain by the looks of things. Nakamba and Brown are both out with knee injuries, and Bell is out with a thigh injury. All three are currently being assessed, but possibly out until the beginning of June. Another former Hammer, Dan Potts and Ogbeni, are both out with the thigh injuries, and they looks like they're going to be back in contention for next Sunday's game, the last game of the season, but they're out for this one. And Anderson is out with a calf and shin injury, but maybe in contention for this fixture. It's not 100%, and of course this is being recorded before the pre-match conferences of both teams, so anything can change by that. Because you guys seem to think that these videos don't, history doesn't change once these videos are recorded. It's bollocks. By the time you put a video out, it's old news a lot of the time. It really can be. That's the way social media works. Now, turning to West Ham, again, thank you to everybody that's absolutely smashed that subscribe button and those comments that you've been making over the last week. It's been fantastic for this growth. It's lovely to see that there's information that you guys want to see, the people out there that are enjoying what I'm doing. Obviously, it's only seems to be information outside the fixtures that people want to listen to, and that's perfectly fine. But the content of this and the style of this channel isn't going to change to suit that. This is the way that I like to do it. I like to do previews. I like to talk about stuff that is actually going to happen, rather than as every Tom, Dick, and Harry story that we get seen on Facebook and Twitter and all the rest of it. But yeah, thank you to everybody that has subscribed to the channel. I really do. Words fail me. We've had such a huge increase, and long may that continue. It's even come to the point since Monday that I've been checking my phone once every 4 or 5 hours and seeing that boom, boom, boom. There's a few other couple of subscribers and a few other, a few hundred views on the video about discussing Lopetigui as a manager. That's just brilliant. I love it. But guys, please, 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 we'll talk about this when we talk about do the end of season review as well, for that matter. But guys, please do bear in mind that whoever is going to be coming in to replace David Moyes at the end of the season, because obviously it was announced on Monday night that he was going to be leaving at the end of the season, which we knew anyway. Just have an open mind. Seriously, have an open mind. You guys seem to be writing off Lopetegui at the moment. He hasn't even signed yet. Please, just open your mind and just enjoy the fact we've got summer. We've got the Euros to look out for. I know a lot of people don't like England over West Ham and vice versa, and that's perfectly fine. Haven't got an issue with that whatsoever. But guys, we just need to relax as a fan base. We really, really do. Can we just stop all this Moist talk now? He's going. That's it. You guys that wanted him out, you've got your wish. Lopetegui was discussed around about November, from what I'm hearing from, was it Greenberg, when he did the West Ham Ways UIN's podcast a couple of days ago. So that kind of reiterates the fact that what I've been saying for the majority of the season, ever since the story originally broke by Moyes, that he has a contract on the table. I think this has been a conversation that's been going on for 6 months, maybe 7 months, maybe 8 months, maybe after Prague, for that matter. Yeah, when we did that, maybe it's been going since then. Maybe it's been going for a year. It's conversations about what's happening. And also, it looks like after the Chelsea debacle and maybe the Arsenal defeat and in Palace and all the rest of it, contract was retracted, and David Moyes didn't want to tell anybody, which is the reason why everything was going on in the press and all the rest of it. Who knows? We'll never know. But guys, let's just go into next season. Let's finish this one on a high. Let's give David Moyes the respect that we should be giving to him on Saturday. Let's give him a round of applause at the end of the game, or at the start of the game, whenever the club wants to get us. It's probably going to be the end of the season. Let's just be the bigger person here and just go, thank you, David. That's all we care about. He's given us a piece of silverware for the first time in 43 years. He's given us European football in longer in contention that Redknapp was able to do, albeit very close, but still able to do it. We're going to look back. I've said it before and I'll say it again. We're going to look back on this season in a few years' time with nothing but admiration for Moyes. Once all the hatred is settled down with and everyone's forgotten about all that bollocks that's been going on for the last couple of years, all this toxic agenda that people have got, the Moyes in and the Moyes out for that matter, which is one of the reasons why I've been not really mentioned either way, because I'm a West Ham supporter. I don't care who the manager is as long as we're playing well. Yep, there's time for change. We've said it before. We said at the end of last season's review, he's hit his glass ceiling. Let's give him the respect that he requires, because at the end of the day, guys, if you work as hard as David Moyes has over the last 4.5 years at your job, and then you resign, get sacked, whatever, you want to leave on a high. You want to make sure that everybody remembers you for the good times. And we will remember David Moyes for the good times. It just won't be yet. I mean, I do already. There's loads of fans out there and supporters out there that do. But just at the moment, guys, we need to just let this season go the way that it's going. And talking of which, guys, we are not getting European football next season. Even if Man City beat Man United in the FA Cup, which is more than likely possible, we are out of contention for Europe. So if Man City win the FA Cup and again it falls down to 7th place, we are 5 points with that. And if it doesn't, on the highly unlikely event that it has to be 1st to 6th as it usually is, we are 7 points away from 6th. We're not playing Europe next season, which in a way is a good thing. Yeah, in a way it's a good thing. That means we can get rid of players that we need to. That means that we can use the money that we've had for the Europa League. It won't be a huge amount, but it will be helpful. You know, we've got we won't be as much money as it would have been if we got to the final, but still, it's still a few mil that's going in the bank on top of finishing 9th or 8th, wherever we're going to finish. You know, it's just, yeah, there's good things coming. There really, really is. And there always is with West Ham, but everybody just seems to be some grumpy old git at the minute. It's just like, oh, everything's shit, it's so crap, meh. Yeah, because we've had 40 years of that shit. Yeah, 100%. But there are good times coming. Now, looking at West Ham injuries, Phillips is now likely to return to City because apparently he's got a calf strain. Don't believe it in the slightest. Really, really don't. You could argue that Calvin Phillips' entrance was the start of David Moyes' exit. Again, we'll talk about that when we do the end of season review. Mavropanos is 75% chance of returning from his knock in the Bayer Leverkusen first leg. So hopefully he's be back for that. And Aguerd is going to be out probably until about next Sunday as well, for that matter. But before we talk about the starting 11, guys, I just want to say thank you to everybody once again that has subscribed. But because of the influx of views that the last 2 videos have had, more specifically the Lopetigui video that has had, there's been a lot of people that aren't subscribed, and that amount is huge. We are now looking at almost 70, well, just over 70%, 70.5% of you guys are not subscribed. So basically, that doing the maths, yeah, this channel has had like over 6,000 views over the last 4 weeks, and doing the maths of that's 4,200 odd, if I remember correctly, that aren't subscribed. So even if half of you subscribe to the channel that have viewed over the last few weeks, you will genuinely double the count that the channel is currently on. So and I know there's a lot of unique returning viewers as well, for that matter. We get about 1,800 returning viewers. So I know a lot of you are enjoying this, but not being subscribed. It doesn't cost you a penny. You know, everything on this channel is completely free. So just click the button that's down here, guys. Just there. It's going to be about there by the time you actually see. Just click that little button down there, and just make sure you set the notifications on to all, so you know when new content is going up. There's no club. There's no additional charges. There's nothing. This is all for free. This cost me a bloody fortune to do, to be fair. Not as much as it used to, because I've made some changes here and then they've been a little bit shrewd. But it costs a hell of a lot of money to keep this channel going. And of course, but you guys, all it costs you is your time. But as always, guys, let's finish the video by talking about the starting 11. Now, as it may be no surprise to you guys from the injury information that we've gone, that this is the starting 11 that I'm hoping we will go with, and I would put out as I was David Moyes in charge. And of course, put your comments in the comment section below. Let me know what you would put out if you were in charge for the Luton home game. Areola in goal, with a back four of Soufal, Mavropanos, Casey and Emerson. Alvarez in the defensive midfield positions with James Ward-Prowse in front of him, supporting Antonio, Kudus and Cornet, with Bowen up front. So thank you very much for your time, guys. As always, I'll be doing the full-time thoughts on Saturday, so hopefully I won't get too drunk and have to do it on the Sunday instead. But thank you to everybody that subscribed, as I say. Thank you for getting this far as well, for that matter. And by all means, please do put your comments in the comment section below. The next time you'll see me, I will be a year older. So yeah, there is that. So in the meantime, guys, have a great weekend, and I will see you very, very soon. All the best now. Take care.